What is going on, guys? Welcome to the second episode of Talking Bollocks with myself, MarkyB, obviously your usual host, and all the best European Call of Duty players, including Chris Tunn, who's going to be obviously more regular. Obviously, he wasn't here last week. There was a bit of a clash of schedules and whatnot, but he's here ready to go for week 2 of Talking Bollocks podcast. Obviously, we've had a lot of people tweeting us saying to kind of continue doing this and keep it going. So that's the plan. First of all, we want to be obviously introducing this week's guests. I've got rated Skrapz, Wuskinz, and like I said before, Tunny. Two players from Red and one player from Unilad. Obviously, Red been playing this week's CWL, so we're going to be going into those matches, talking a bit about obviously their experiences in those games and a bit about the other games from the other teams in their group. So, Wagwan boys, how's it going? How he's doing? How's Columbus?
I mean, it's going well. We haven't lost yet, so the vibes are at an all-time high. But
Yeah.
Columbus is still pretty dead.
What you been doing, Matty?
Well, yeah, it's going well. Like Reece has said there, the vibes are at an all-time high. Can't see us losing anytime soon, so just taking every day as it comes and just enjoying it, buzzing.
I seen on Twitter like last week, I think it was. I seen you were spending some money in the the Louis store? Yeah. I see, you spending your prize money already?
Trey dragged me in there, and then next thing you know, they're both at the counter with our cards out. So yeah, I'm blaming him.
Well, yeah. Obviously, the games went really well this week, so obviously you sort of gave yourself a little treat beforehand. But speaking of the games, obviously looking over this week's match, the first game you started off against Epsilon. What was your feelings going into that game? What happened? Obviously, it's obviously not the best match
It
out
was
of.
a straightforward game.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Epsom. We knew we were going to win. It was just sort of getting it over and done with. It was a good warm-up for the games for the rest
Yeah,
of the week.
just all, with all due respect, like just going in there, getting the job done, and then obviously we said like the tournament. No offense to Epsom, because I like all of them, but like we said to each other, the tournament starts tomorrow with TK, which you did, and we won that series as well. So it went pretty smooth, bar the CTF. Every time I watch them on that, I get frustrated. They managed to like take it to the wire with everyone on that map. Like I've seen them beat a lot of teams on that map. It was annoying to play. So
yeah, they beat Equifox did that the other day as well, didn't they?
yeah,
It's weird. When we were playing them, it literally felt like they were playing for a 0-0 draw.
They
And
were doing the old Mourinho tactic.
Yeah, like literally we sat
The
in our
old one.
base for 2 minutes, and then like none of them were pushing us, and then we just got bored, and then they got a cap, and then if you go 1-0 down on that flag, on that map, is sort of like
A weird map.
They just played it. They played it a lot different to anyone we've played on it.
Yeah. I think from what I remember, Dave had a decent map as well. If I'm
That was
correct.
against Echo Fox.
That was against Echo Fox, yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
19 kills in one half, or 20 kills in one
Yeah.
half, whatever it was.
But it was a weird game, like you said. They were playing it quite unorthodox compared to the other teams. Like you seen Stevo try to sneak cap for like half the game, and then obviously they end up just, I guess, clutching up and winning the map. But like you said, I expected you to win that game 3-0. Like all my predictions were pretty much. I always sort of predicted you to draw a map against every other team. Obviously he's didn't, but that game I predicted a swift 3-0. But obviously that CTF was a bit of a weird one.
Bet out the window, MarkyB through.
Yeah, I was fuming. Absolutely, the whole national circuit prize money went down on that game.
20 quid.
Yeah, the whole 20 quid. But yeah, I mean, there was quite a few good games this week. Looking back at it, like it's hard to even remember half of them, but there was a lot of game 5s. Looking even at the first 2 days, there was like 5 game 5s in the first 2 days, which is pretty mint, to be fair, for like sitting watching at home. Obviously, it was absolutely torching my cash, but there was still a lot of good games. Tony,
Yeah, mate.
what was your thoughts on Red's first week? Did you expect him to go 3-0?
I expected more, boys. No. I mean, realistically, we did sort of look at it and say
Predict
that
it.
he's obviously had the potential we talked about in hindsight to win all those games, and it looked mostly comfortable. I'm really interested to see you play Envy though. Obviously they look like the other informed team at the moment. I wouldn't have necessarily predicted that myself, but I think that'll be a decent matchup because TK will be an up and down. And who else did you play again? Was it
Splice.
Splice, obviously.
Like Splice again, another one of those teams who are a little bit up and down. So I'll be looking forward to see your game against Envy. I think if you win that, then first should be in the bag, no pressure.
I think if we're we
No, I
play
think
EG first.
if we beat EG on Tuesday, I think we go 7-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the only dodgy game left.
Yeah, I'm looking at your games for next week. You've got, so on Tuesday you play EG at 5, and then on Wednesday you play 2 games. So you got Echo Fox and Envy. So those are like 3 like decent games. And then FaZe on Thursday as well. So that's looking tasty, man. If you can finish off the 2 weeks 7-0, oh, you're looking nice for playoffs and whatnot. But honestly, I expected more from. Obviously, going through the series, I didn't really touch really much on your game against TK. It was quite close. Obviously, I went game 5 and whatnot. Do you think TK, obviously from now your experience of playing them, do you think you've just got better, or do you think they've got worse with their more recent roster changes?
I think it was a bit of both because we played really bad in that series. Like Trey had a proper system at 1 and 3, and then like none of us were playing too great besides Matt. You doing, Joe? You freak. The camera's on.
No, yeah, there was.
So
I think they're good. I think they're good though. I think Enable's not made them worse. I think they're just good. Obviously, you'd have a method, but I think that team's good. This team, if all 4 of us play to our potential, I think not many teams will beat us.
Is Joe locking about in the background?
No, you just
She's
put
out
his
of the
face on
camera.
the cam.
Oh, I missed it, man. Oh, I'm gutted, man.
I just wiped the stream.
I'm gutted.
Dry in front of you.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we just played. We played pretty bad. Like all of us played bad besides Matt in that series, and then we still managed to win. So that was a good sign. Going
Yeah.
forward into the
And then obviously you played Splice the next day
And everybody played to the potential.
against Splice.
So,
yeah, we didn't warm up against TK either.
Why was that?
Because the series before it was 2-0. I don't know who was it. It might have been Splice EG. It was 2-0, so we warmed up and then finished warming up at 2-0. And then obviously it goes fucking game 5, round 11.
Oh, what? So you were sitting there for like 40 minutes,
Yeah.
like 45
So,
minutes, just
And
waiting.
then we went in super slow, got absolutely fried on one of our best maps.
Yeah.
They were
No.
fresh
I
off two
was worried at
scrims.
that point, to be fair.
But then,
when they battered you, was it on docks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that happened, I was like, oh shit.
Nah. And then the next day against Splice, we literally, even Joe, we all killed at least 500 bots. Even Joe killed 500 bots.
That's a
And then
record for Joe.
we
That's saying something.
We just fried. So I think
Usually
we're
Joe
fine.
don't shoot more than 30.
Yeah. On,
He's
Joe.
playing.
he's been playing really good, man.
No, yeah, but
That's-
I don't mind him playing Fortnite on the days we're not playing or in the nights. But
Yeah, he's the only guy like things like that let slide. Even in that Splice series, he was doing a lot. He sat on Twitter on his phone. If that was anybody else, that was Trey or Reese.
Oh.
Get you in the game. That's just Joe for you. Like that's just a Joe thing. Like
Yeah.
so,
He's just a
like,
different
leave him
guy.
to it. Yeah, you just leave him to what he wants to do and just let him roll with it.
I sort of half missed obviously last week's with doing national circuit. Did you have any discussion about why you put Joe's flex over Trey?
yeah, because Trey's a spastic.
No, okay, fair enough. We just said it straight out.
I've said it a few times. Trey knows he has better gun skill than most people, so he challenges stuff that he shouldn't. Just thinking, right, I'll kill
Yeah.
this guy. And then when you're in AR, like you're just losing power spots or losing spawns when you're doing that shit.
Right.
It happened like a lot.
That was only our like weak thing.
And that was the truth.
AR maps. We just
Now
killed.
Trey can just run around now with a 7, kill whoever he wants. So,
So did you notice the benefit of that in week 1?
what did we play? Well, we only played an AR map against.
What was it? Den? I
it
think you
was,
might
yeah,
have played
against
TK, was it?
Epsilon.
Oh,
No, it was
no.
Epsilon.
Okay.
Yeah, I
But,
don't think it's Epsilon. Played any of us.
But like even from scrims, we're a lot more comfortable on the AR maps. Like we played Optic, played LG. We're just a lot more comfortable.
Fair enough. And then obviously you went on to play Splice, which was, well, you've touched a little bit about it, but like I personally expected. Obviously the games were close in that, but I didn't expect it to be a 3-0.
You predicted Spice to win that, didn't you?
I like no.
He's the analyst. He had to.
I like. Well, no. On the show with you, the day of the games, I predicted Red to win, but then the night before, I predicted Splice to win.
I was gonna say.
So my head was all over the place, to be honest, with the whole, like who I thought was going to win it. Like I was predicting it, just depending on whoever asked me, I gave a different answer pretty much every time. But I didn't think Splice would obviously not win a map. But I don't know. I still think Splice have got a lot to show still. Like I just,
They lost 2 game 5s, is it not?
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
lucky
They
against
lost,
TK.
yeah, but then they were very lucky against EG. So
Yous have just obviously looked unreal. So them even having like, Yous have definitely looked from week one the strongest team in the whole group, which is what we predicted, to be honest with you. But I still think Splice haven't looked too bad, and I don't think they're
I
like.
don't think they have either.
Yeah, I feel like they're definitely got still a good opportunity here still to qualify for playoffs if they just step it up and start winning more of these game 5s, or just closing out the maps they should be winning, which was quite a few when I was watching over the last couple of days. So yeah.
I mean, it was sort of epitomised by the end of the game against TK first map, wasn't it? Playing Ardennes, and they were pretty much in control the majority of the game, weren't they? And then it just
they
lost
were up
it.
like 120 to 10 or some shit.
And then Enable gets 3 pieces in the game.
Walks in no man's with an AR and gets a 4 piece.
Yeah, it's just unreal. Like,
Impressive.
yeah, I mean, to be fair, Enable's played quite well for TK, but that sort of stuff can't happen. Well, I think better than some people probably would.
When he played against us.
That play that somebody put on Reddit and he runs forward to bottom fire.
Yeah,
even I wouldn't do that.
I don't know what was going through his head. I have no idea what was going on in his head at that point in time, to be honest with you, because
I was mind blown.
He said though, and
I was like, bro, that's gotta be a glitch.
You're like, nah, the bomb's not down, boys. Nah, Joe's literally got his headset. No, Trey has his headset absolutely blaring. He was like, no, bomb's down, bomb's down 100%, bomb's down 100%. He would have been screaming. He knew what was happening. Best ended off the week 3-0, looking good, looking cushy. And like we've said, we've gone over your matches for next week. What's your opinions on obviously the group as a whole now? Obviously, after playing for 1 week, have your opinions changed on any of the teams? Obviously, we kind of like predicted like the way the group was going to go last week in last week's show. Have your opinions of any teams changed, or pretty much just the same?
I think every game's going to be hard. Every game's just going to be as tough as any other game, but just the same as this week. Like
I think we're the only guarantee.
Yeah.
I think we're the only team who's guaranteed playoffs. Like we could go 0-4 and shit the bed, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. Like I feel
like besides us, everyone else could literally make playoffs.
Yeah, I think that
it should be good.
Or Epsilon, like no offense to them, obviously. Rudy's in the chat.
Sorry, Rudy, mate.
Yeah, I mean, but you realistically
they
can't.
Got super unlucky though, because they should have. That map 4 against Echo Fox, Fasan was using long barrel and he was getting some questionable kills.
They should have won that map.
That could have gone game 5 and then S&D.
There you go, S&D every day, man. Reedy on S&D, you're solid.
Reedy's been hard carrying me.
Yeah, Reedy's been doing bits, man, from what I've been seeing.
I know, Reedy got a 6-piece against us for full streaks on the forest.
Yeah. Doing some absolute bits on the map. It's just a shame that like.
They got unlucky against Echo Fox, so Epsilon haven't looked as bad as I thought they'd look.
Yeah, no, they're. I definitely.
I think they're gonna beat someone.
They're
gonna fuck someone up.
I think they're gonna win a couple series.
Yeah.
I think they can win a series or two.
They're on the same map count as it FaZe, aren't they?
One more less, or one map less or something.
What's wrong with FaZe, do you reckon? Do you think it's the whole zoom out optic thing?
Rumour floating around here, mate, that's not the fucking problem.
Oh, dear. Share?
Oh, go on. What's the rumour that's floating around? Fair enough. Nah, it's all good. You can't betray the trust of the squad, especially Italian style. You can't do that.
I don't know what's wrong with them. I just don't think. I think they still should have changed. Even though they won playoffs, they should have changed.
Yeah.
Like it's the same as our team. We would have changed if we won Seattle. So.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, exactly. Yeah, at the end of the day, like results are.
Like they've placed top 12 at every major besides Dallas.
Yeah.
And you can't let that one win get in the way. I think, and I think that's their problem.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely don't predict. I'm predicting them not to make playoffs personally. So yeah, I've seen them like at times looking. I've seen them backstage at events looking like they just don't want to team with each other after losses. So I just get that genuine impression that like there's fundamentally a problem wrong in their team in general. But I think that I don't really know what they should have done. It was kind of a weird situation they were left in after winning season 1.
I think with how good Zoom is, I think for him to like, with how he is, even if they dropping 50 for the L, I think he should have let him go up to it. Like,
yeah.
The team's never going to be the same now. Because when somebody wants to leave and your whole team knows that, never going to be the same.
Yeah.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like, I mean, the whole thing. I mean, I heard a couple of things about. Well, I don't know how true it is about Optic potentially asking Karma back and stuff like that before the whole methods thing happened. But like, could you imagine if that had happened? It's just like a complete like disparity between all.
Would have been the same.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, it's not the same. And if he's being poached by, I mean, it's Optic, so the majority of people probably would leave to go to that organisation from a career standpoint.
No one would say no to that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
exactly.
Well, what were you
Fucking
being
hell,
told? He
Brad!
did
I
say
didn't
no?
realise you were here.
I think he did say no.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
the
Well,
end,
apparently
FaZe
said no.
offered him something stupid.
Third amounts, shall we say?
Yeah,
Oh.
and apparently he did end up saying no.
Ben pulling the strings.
Jeez.
This week.
Jeez.
That's why he's not fucking joined Optic.
Fair play. That's incredible. Anyway, we obviously can't talk about that on stream, but
Yeah. That's
wow. Matt has just dropped some absolute madness in the TeamSpeak chat. Jeez. Anyway, moving on from that, because I don't really want to talk about it, because people in the chat are going to start asking what we're talking about.
Just seeing that. Holy
Yeah, obviously going into this pre this week, you're obviously preparing for the vast majority of the time as a team with like the ITRA, and then that's obviously ended up being sort of not played with, or gentleman's agreement, whatever you want to call it. What do you think that sort of preparation with the ITRA and whatnot affected your like play this week at all? Or do you think it benefited, or do you think it made you slightly worse? Or like, how do you think the sort of gentleman's agreement or like choice not to use the ITRA affected you lot as a team?
Well, it was literally up to us. We were the last team who were like deciding if we wanted to agree or not. So like, we could have just said, if we wanted to use the ITRA, we could have just said no, and then everyone would have used it. So it was literally in our hands if we wanted to use it or not. And I just think it makes the game more inconsistent.
Yeah.
If you use the ITRA, like, it makes bad players better.
100%.
So I think it just makes the game a lot more consistent, even though the bar's still in, and I think that's still stupid. So even though it's a lot better without long rail, but yeah, I think it just makes the game a lot more inconsistent, and S&D would literally be a snooze fest with ITRAs. It'd be at least like 3, maybe 4 in certain strats and stuff. So I think it benefited everybody not using that shit gun.
Yeah, personally, I would have liked to see it like on stream and whatnot. I didn't really enjoy the gun myself playing, and I just think it would have just. There's just so many kills with it that it's just questionable, and
Especially on LAN, like it would have been even better
Yeah.
on LAN. So
how
just
you've
don't
been
think
how you've been playing, Brad, since obviously everyone's been going away. I've not really
Yeah,
seen
fucking
you.
hell, you fell asleep there, but do what?
Yeah,
I can't talk on your league, huh? You're the one playing, not me.
Nah, but Brad, obviously, yous have been before everyone went away to America. Yous were grinding quite a bit. I've not really noticed if yous have been scrimming or not over the last couple of days. Or have yous
Actually,
been...
I don't know. We have been playing. We've been playing Heretics. It's been interesting. to
Oh,
say the
right.
least.
Oh yeah, in fact, I've seen a few
I don't
streams.
know what was. Well, actually, I haven't. But we played more. We played quite a bit of S&D. We played more S&D than we have scrims. Yeah,
You've been improving, getting
Yeah,
better in
it's
S&D.
it's decent.
How confident are you going into your games then?
Yeah, how are you feeling going into your group?
Going
your
off
predictions?
past experiences online, I don't know, I've never been so more confident. Got faith in the boys, but yeah.
Just
Playoff
looking at
Rise
your games.
Thursday.
Wait.
Yeah, I was gonna say. You
Is your team been announced? Is your team been announced yet?
It actually hasn't.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I think everyone else is. I think everyone else in their nans already announced the new squad.
It's looking deady for Russ. His first 2 games when he gets his fucking Optic and Rise, man.
I think that's a good thing, though.
Oh.
That's actually a good
Hey,
thing.
that's alright, hey.
That's a
alright.
good thing.
Yeah,
Because if you manage to win one, you're buzzing. If you lose them both, you just need to take it with a pinch of salt. Like you lose, say you lose them 2 games, and you just get a bit of momentum in all the other games.
Yeah, you got Rise first, then Optic, and then
That's
Complexity and Tainted Minds. So I mean,
You're literally meant to go 0-2 there. So I just, as long as you don't get butt hurt if you lose like a close series against one of them, I think you'll be fine. I think that's a better schedule to have.
Yeah, I definitely think so, because then they're going to go up against teams with that. They're going in with that previous experience of playing against obviously some of the best teams in the game, and then they're going to be going in against teams that are expected to win against. And at that point,
And just get a bit of momentum.
Yeah,
like if
bit of
you
momentum
win,
under
win
ourselves.
Win 2 in a row after that, and you're just. That fine.
Then ideally you can somehow cop out, like, not somehow, it's not even like it's some like crazy thing you could do. It's like you use it are well able to like somehow pick up a like result off one of those first 2 games. You can easily pick up a result.
That's
So
what I mean. If you manage to go 1-1 in them 2 games, you're literally set.
absolute
Even
buzzing.
if you go 0-2, it's not the end of the world.
There's still a lot of question marks around that, though. I mean, I know you lot have been scrimming Optic, but scrims only say so much, don't they? I mean,
No, Optic are very good.
are they actually legitimately very good?
Well, we tried them in the second rotation, but they are pretty good.
All right.
We haven't played Rise though.
Yeah,
We play them
LG as well. You
Should
still
we
don't
play
know.
the Archer or not?
Nah. And LG, I don't think they're very good. I think Unilad will beat LG and United.
I'm
Yeah,
more
plausible.
confident. I'm more confident in being Optic and Rise than I'm confident being Taking Minds because of how bad we've been written off. The whole scene literally thinks our team's gonna be absolutely dog shit.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't.
I see that as a good thing, but I like being written off. Like, yeah, everyone's thing is to be top the group ready, but what your realistic? Where do you see yourself finishing in that division? 100% playoffs. I don't know where in playoffs, but we'll definitely make playoffs.
Yeah.
I think you'll get 3rd.
I think you'll get playoffs as well.
I think you'll go 1-1 with LG and then you'll steal a game against Optic or Rise.
Yeah.
I think it's really good for you to have, like we've already said, those tough games first, because not only like what we said before about you getting a nice run in that, you're also going to be going in fresh. No one really knows much about your team, even about the players individually. Going to be underestimating you straight away, so you can catch one of these teams off guard like straight away. So it's like perfect timing. I feel like
it's easy you Mark or Reece saying like you'd rather play them 2 teams first. How their team's gonna take it. Players in that team, like if you get smoked in them 2 series, for example, go back to your apartment, fucking over shit, blah 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 blah. Play there thinking about it. Depends how they take it, I think.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess it also depends how the games go as well. Like, if they have them just getting smoked might be better than like losing a close series, as well as vice versa. You really don't know how certain players or individuals are gonna react to losses, really. But obviously, they're not thinking about that. They're just thinking about popping these W's. I'm interested to see, man. I'm really looking forward. I've been actually buzzing all. I've been buzzing all like season just watching like all the games, to be honest with you. Obviously, we'd love to be competing in them and whatnot, but like it's actually just fun just watching the games, seeing like just all these there's been so many crazy moments already in all the first few games, so it's been enjoyable to say the least. Yeah. But yeah, obviously Black Ops 4. What do you think? I mean, obviously we're still in the main end of like the season. This is the sort of time every year where we're coming towards the end of the season. Obviously, we're all focused on the tournaments that are going on, but then you just get an announcement, boom, and it just gets you so gassed for the next game, which I feel like such a bad thing because it's good and bad at the same time. But it's like I'm just so excited to play that game, but I want to just focus on
Like you
World War
forget about the rest
II.
of the year.
Yeah, you almost forget about the rest of the year, but you still obviously are wanting to focus on World War II. But what was your thoughts about the Black Ops 4 review anyway? Like, how do you think it looked? Like, obviously there's so much change. Like the
It's
likes.
nice to see some colour in the maps.
Oh yeah, I think that is something that like Fortnite and a lot of other like just fans and game developers and whatnot have been saying over the last like I feel like it's been something that's been getting talked about a lot over the last couple of months. Like colourful games and like vibrant games making people more attracted to play the game. So I feel that's what they've definitely like flung a lot of colour into that game and made it look a lot more fun, I guess, from the trailer and whatnot. And obviously you've got Battle Royale coming and all that. So what was your fucking first thoughts of the reveal? What do you think about all the new features? Not really about Battle Royale and all that other stuff, just mainly the multiplayer.
I've just seen the sliding and I'm buzzing.
You like the sliding edition?
Yeah, pardon me. Sorry, yeah.
So you can slide into those DMs?
Yeah.
You can't slide, you fat bastard.
You start trying to find fucking grey
Yeah,
headed
no,
idiot.
man. Nah, you know what plays a big part in this new game? I was like, see this year, you play the game, and you scrim, and that's it. I think nearly every COD pro these days, bar the odd one.
You just
We'll
reading
finish
out my
scrimming.
tweet there?
What tweet?
You want to quote it? You're just reading my tweet out, you fat idiot. Go on.
Why was your tweet? Go on, I don't know what your tweet is.
I'll read it out right now then.
Go on.
Alright, give me a second. You're not reading my tweet out. I'm actually not reading your tweet out.
You're just obviously twins in it, so you're just thinking like telepathically.
This, finishing scrims, EGC, then going on this and taking the piss out of everyone. Yeah.
I don't know. I was just talking about finishing scrims, and most people now
User
just
entered
sit
your
on
channel.
different. Like, everyone goes on a different game. Like everyone will go on a PC game, or everyone will go on Fortnite because there's nothing else to do. This year in the new game, I don't know. You'll finish, and then you'll be able to go on like Battle Royale or Zombies or whatever.
Yeah, I think Fortnite coming out hasn't helped that at all though, because that's what the majority of the pros are doing. Though, as soon as you finish, like I'm looking like Joe's on Fortnite, everyone's on it.
User
And I think that's
disconnected
just
from your channel.
because that game's so well, everyone's enjoying it so much.
Sorry to distract you from what we're talking about, but some random just joined
Yeah,
some random just joined the team speak and just went hi, just left. I was like, who the hell is
I
that?
thought it was someone trolling.
No, it's because we're using my team's team speak obviously, so it's just a bit of a mess really. But I was honestly, I'm buzzing for Black Ops 4, but I really don't know what to think about the whole like health system, like the whole regening yourself and whatnot.
You regen instantly.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's fine.
If you press the thing, it's literally an instant regen.
Yeah.
Because there was one of them that's got the equipment, so it's quick, doesn't it?
Well,
So
yeah,
The other one's
it's
quick
like
though.
literally
The other
instant.
one's quick as well though. Like,
Yeah.
so
But like a
I don't
lot of
think it'll
people,
be that
like
much of a problem.
I listened to Methods' interview with the Dessert a lot, and he said like after 20 minutes, it was just like you didn't even think about it. It was just an automatic thing that happens anyway. So it seems like something that might not actually play a massive part.
The
I don't
game
know.
just looks super smooth, man.
Yeah, it does
Like
look
it
good.
just looks just looks good, man.
Yeah,
If that game's shit, we have no hope. So we may as well just fuck off if that game's shit.
I like the new direction though, because I think I watched a lot of videos. I think from Drifter, and I sort of agreed with them that like they're moving away from what was good about COD like 6 years ago. Like loads of people love Modern Warfare 2, you know, these fast shooters you can go and pick it up, but they're changing it. It's like a new direction, like freshening it up completely. And I think it needs it, to be honest with you. And I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm still gonna not really just judge it straight away. I'm not too excited about the new health like system and whatnot, but I'm excited for like the way the game looks, the way the gameplay sort of looks and feels, the fast pacedness of the game from what I've seen from like the trailers and whatnot. But really, it's hard to tell when you've not actually played the game yourself.
Yeah.
World War II, my main issue with it, as I've said multiple times, is that I feel like the main issue is the maps.
Yeah, the maps are fucking
Which, yeah, so I feel like that is something that Treyarch have always done well. So if they don't go against what they've been doing for the last like 10 years and make terrible maps, then this game's going to be good regardless, because I feel like that's one thing that's the gameplay and the maps are the main things that drive Call of Duty. And if you get those two things right, obviously everything else is just a bonus on top of it. So hopefully they get that right in my eyes.
What do you just reckon about that control mode? Yes or no? For esports was
The what?
the new mode that's come out, Control, I think it's called.
No idea.
don't know if you've
I
seen
don't
much
really
of
watch the reveals ever any year.
I think it's one. It's a bit like Overwatch. That's what they went with. So it's you move into two different areas. You got attacking and defending. You're gonna capture the point within like 2 minutes. It's hard to explain if you don't watch it. But,
That's fucking shite. Let's keep it up.
I know there was a decent amount of discussion around it.
Let's keep that in the bin.
Keep it in the bin.
Keep it basic.
Keep that in Publix.
Wait and see. I
Let's get
suppose.
some hardpoint S&D capture the flag.
What
Fucking
do you think
hell.
of what do you think of 5v5?
Yeah, I was wondering that as well.
Meh. I don't want it to go 5v5, but
Why not?
I don't know.
I mean,
The maps are like they're built for it though.
Yeah, that's it.
it depends. It depends how the maps are like.
Nobody's played the games enough
Yeah.
to know
Yeah.
if the maps are built for 5v5 yet.
I suppose
Will
they'll probably
make much of a
lower it for a
difference.
reason, but
If you had like
Dunno.
5v5 in this game, for example, like I don't really know. It would be just a madness. Do you know what I mean? Like some of the hills would just be an absolute mayhem. So it just really depends what game modes we're playing, what the maps are like. Just so many factors. But
Yeah,
if it feels right, 5v5, I'm fine with 5v5. Like
I think the league play system as well, that'll play a big part in how far the game can go. I think that's good. That's a lot of
Yeah.
people.
But this whole 5v5 thing will probably be dictated by what they use for league play, won't it? If they throw a V5,
well, yeah, I
V5
mean,
in,
it's the same. League plays the same as competitive rules in
Yeah.
it, so
so if they throw a 5v5 in the league play, then they'll say everyone, right,
But
we
they-
need
they
a
throw-
fifth member.
they-
That's it.
Didn't they throw 5v5 on Bops 2 on one of the league players? There was like a rank player, and what was the one? There was two different league players on Bops 2.
Was it?
One of them was 5v5, I'm pretty sure.
Nah, there might have been a competitive. There might have been like a sort of competitive rules game mode or something like that. But
Yeah, that was just like a public one.
I'm not entirely sure if there was a 5v5 ranked play or league play. Sorry, on Black Ops 2 anyway. Maybe actually. Was it? Did Black Ops 3 have that, or is that no? Black Ops 3 had obviously.
Yeah, one of them had it. I'm most certain one of them had
If
it.
it actually goes 5v5 as well, Europe's fucked.
Players to make
But yeah, but you gotta think of it. You gotta think of it the way though. If it does go 5v5 and all these top teams have to get another player in, they could almost like improve a lot of like for example, say, Thanos, right? Thanos joins Red, right? Thanos joins Red.
Thanos joins Red.
We're calling him Thanos again, right? He joins Red. He improves by being surrounded by like better players on paper. Do you know what I mean? Like just as an example.
Orgs are weird enough when it's 4v4, mate. It'll just be a fuck fest if it's 5v5.
Yeah, that is true.
They've literally built like, I think a stun, a nade, a trophy system is all one thing. So let's say if you want a trophy system on, you can't have a nade, and that's all rechargeable. Like, that's just not when you die. You end up spawning with a trophy every time. That's all recharges. So it's just not constant. That's what they've done.
Yeah, another good thing that I saw, that it doesn't seem like a lot of the specialists are too like lethal orientated. It seems a bit more.
Yeah, it's like
utility.
it's like Annihilator. I think that's the only one I saw.
Like the heat
The
wave, the active
flamethrower as well.
camos is none of that, which is a good thing, I think.
Yeah, but they put more
Yeah,
utility
they do.
behind it, so then it's
Yeah.
different styles to play around, and apparently most of them can be sort of countered in a way. So I mean, it's interesting that they're trying to make it a little bit more competitive. It seems anyway. It's not so much like the run and gun typical COD.
Yeah, they didn't speak much about esports, though, did they, in the reveal?
Nah,
At all. I don't even think they mentioned it once.
I
Did
feel
they mention it last year? Reveal.
they did have. I feel like it might have not been last year, but they definitely most years do involve esports players in the like multiplayer review, and obviously that did show multiplayer. But I think at E3 they'll actually have like a more multiplayer review, and they'll obviously go way more in depth into it, show more maps, and they'll probably have like pro players there or whatnot at either E3 or Gamescom or something like that.
Well, there was pro players at the reveal, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was, but there was no like I think there was only like one part of any of the clips on the stream where there was like a crowd of like an esports crowd.
Yeah,
and like
that's
one of
what
the
it
clips, I think it was like 1 second. That was really the only like esports vibe you got from that like first thing. But obviously they had a lot to talk about really in that like short amount of time. They had like some crazy new zombies like experiences, like the way they're doing zombies now,
Yeah.
like the different stories and whatnot, and like obviously going way more in depth into the stories on zombies. You can tell they've just removed a lot of resources from obviously not doing single player anymore, or like doing a proper one anyway. Just removed a lot of resources from that and put them into zombies, and now obviously the battle royale game mode, which for like I feel like it's going to be insane for COD, because obviously hopefully it doesn't like take over like. Well, it's probably going to be more popular than the actual
I was
multiplayer.
saying, right, if it is that good and they do it right, I reckon multiplayer will just go to the pot if it's that good.
It's different though, isn't it? It's like a completely different game, I suppose.
Yeah.
Battle Royale
Yeah,
thing,
but they don't
take
care
it
about
over.
that, though. They just care about making money.
Yeah. My
They can say they
only,
care about esports all they want, until I
Yeah.
fucking see it. I don't believe them.
my only thing about the whole battle royale thing and what Fortnite do so good that I don't know if Treyarch will do the same is updating it constantly. You
Yeah.
know, like Fortnite are constant every single week. There's an update, patches, tweaks to guns every week. How much are they going to invest in a battle royale? I suppose it depends how many players they get battle royale and
Yeah, it
how many
depends
players they
how
get
much it
multiplayer. But
pops.
yeah, that's the only thing. Like
That's
Fortnite's
pretty
so on
the
top
other day.
of
You
it.
got like 2K favorites. It was like COD players are gonna be playing COD, computer PC players are gonna be playing COD, BR players are gonna be playing COD. Like literally everyone's gonna be playing COD at the start of that game.
Yeah.
So
They need to nail it out the
yeah,
gate, basically.
yeah.
And not only
They still-
that,
like they still have months as well. Like we're only in May.
yeah.
The game doesn't come out till October, so they have plenty of time.
They want to hope BR doesn't die in 4 months.
The only issues that I've heard, yeah, no, that's what I mean. BR is almost like just sort of a fad for now. Who really knows how long it's gonna actually like?
No,
like-
it's been going on for a while though. Cause,
Yeah, no, but it's still kind of like,
First of all, then PUBG and now fucking
yeah.
Fortnite.
You just need ninjas to throw a stream on playing it,
Yeah,
and that's it.
trust me,
yeah.
man.
Oh yeah, it's over at that point.
That's it, man.
And that's the thing. This like experience is going to be like completely different to Fortnite. It's going to be way different. Obviously, the way Fortnite plays with building and whatnot, you're not going to be getting any of that in like the COD Battle Royale. So it's going to feel a lot different. It's probably going to be more similar to like
I think it's
PUBG.
just gonna be a better version of H1.
Yeah, like obviously it's surely going to be. I'm presuming it's going to be first person. I can't imagine they're going to do like a third person COD Battle Royale with like. I hope it's first person anyway.
There might be like a third person.
Like
game
PUBG.
mode.
Like a
Yeah, like
mode.
a game mode. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like first person server, like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how they do it though. Apparently a lot of vehicles and stuff like that, so that's something I'll have to go and test with. But I'm worried about the kill time and stuff like that because I mean games could be over very, very quickly. Like is there going to be
No, because it's
set
longer
in the
kill
game?
time now apparently. Isn't it?
Yeah, it looks super
That's what
like
like
long
Method
compared
said.
to others. But it's not like as long as
150
like,
health.
killing somebody on Fortnite or something like that, or even on PUBG. So it's I don't know how they're going to do it. If they're going to change it a little bit from the actual main game, I'm not too sure.
It'll probably just be similar to other Battle Royale games. Obviously, Fortnite, people die fairly quickly, but games like not fairly quickly, like the time to kill's longer.
No, if you actually think about it, it's only like 5 bullets. It's like there's not that
True.
much.
But yeah, but that's with like that's
But
also
it's not as accurate as you would be on COD.
yeah, because there's obviously Bloom, and then there's all those sort of things. Whereas COD, imagine your shots on, like you're killing that ASAP, like they're getting deleted off the map like real quick. Like realistically, think about it when you zap someone with like an SDG or something like that, right? On this game, you can kill them insta pretty much. Whereas you're never ever gonna kill someone realistically in a full health person that quickly on like a battle royale game like Fortnite or whatever. But I feel like it's going to feel a lot more like PUBG, the way that time to kill feels and whatnot.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm looking forward to it either way. I mean, we all knew it was coming, to be fair.
Yeah, it's been something that's been talked about for since realistically all the games like H1 Fortnite started becoming popular. I feel like Activision, they've done this as well with this whole jetpack games. I feel like as soon as like something becomes popular, like when obviously Titanfall and all that, those sort of like futuristic shooter games were sort of getting hyped. That's when they started really getting on board with the whole advanced warfare, advanced movement sort of thing. And then
you
there's
see what happened.
and yeah, obviously, and then you see what happened. But they're not obviously changing the COD game as a whole. They're just sort of bringing in that game mode with Battle Royale. But I do feel like they're just following suit of other developers. And like you said before, the issue with like the difference is like Fortnite. Obviously, they update their game straight away, and from what I've heard of multiple people at events, Call of Duty like takes ages to update the game because the developer, which is obviously whoever it is, Treyarch or Infinity Ward, whatever, need to
User in your channel
figure the
timed out.
update out. Oh, hello, is everyone here?
No.
All disconnected.
I think we lost Reese.
Well, anyway, I'll just continue anyway until he gets back. But
I don't think.
oh, that's tough. But somebody said rated fell asleep in the chat. But yeah, anyway, I'll just continue my point anyway. But obviously, with the likes of Activision and whatnot involved above the likes of Treyarch and whatnot, I think it takes longer to update games. And obviously, with like the game itself being just naturally bigger anyway, like file size, with obviously the multiplayer and zombies and whatnot being in the game, it's kind of like I don't feel like it's going to be updated anywhere near as much as like the likes of Fortnite. So I'm not really entirely sure if like.
It depends though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because I mean, the whole campaign thing
User entered
not
your
being
channel.
in there is sort of
Hello?
allocates a few more. Yeah, you
What's happened
disconnected, pal.
Yeah, my fucking laptop died. I can only apologize deeply. We're back in the room.
We're back.
Yeah. I suppose not having campaign is a lot more resources for multiplayer. I suppose those campaign resources, if you like, would move away from campaign at the start of the game when it
Yeah.
comes out anyway, I suppose. But I don't know, we'll see. They're going to have to be seriously on top of it.
I don't know.
'Cause-
I don't know. Does it get? I don't think a game needs updating weekly. I don't unless it's like if you ask Reese about when H1 was out, that was one of the best battle royale game by a mile when it was out. And
Yeah,
they
it was my
always had
favourite.
problems. Always had problems, but they never updated it like every day.
But at the same time, Fortnite.
I think Fortnite's that's the only game that does that.
Yeah, they've set the standard with it though, because I mean, if anything's a problem, it's like fixed like that, like straight away. So I mean, it's just small things, I suppose. But I think they're on top of updating it all the time and keeping it up to date. But then you can over update it, like H1 got ruined. Hopefully, Fortnite don't do that. I don't think they will. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I think it's all speculation.
Yeah,
at the minute, isn't
I'm
it?
excited. I can't wait for
Oh
it.
yeah, I'm excited either way.
I'm just buzzing. See when they done that like zoom out thing and they were saying like about it's like they're gonna have like all the old maps and whatnot, or like part of some old
yeah.
map stuff. That's what I was most gassed for.
Isn't it?
That was what got me ultra gassed for the battle royale because I can just imagine like running through like some field and then you just rock into like
Raid.
Fucking fire.
raid firing range. You just rock in like, yo, what's going on here, man? Post up on a head glitch, just clipping some other man's off some head glitches. It's just gonna be good times.
Massive though, isn't it? Because I mean, you think Fortnite, well, that's got like 3-4 main towns, and then like all these big populated areas. There's gonna be like absolutely hundreds of them on this map. You reckon it's 1,500 times the size of Nuketown? Yeah, I mean, that's fucking massive.
That's a big map, and that's why they're gonna have to have vehicles. That's like, you really couldn't do.
It depends how much dead space they're gonna have in between all these these maps that they're using. Really,
you can't really do like a Fortnite size map, for example, with vehicles, because then you could just get across the map so fast. Like games like H1 and whatnot, they need those vehicles. So that's sort of, I guess, why it's gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna be obviously a much longer.
They're in the fucking AC 130, man.
Oh mate, you're gonna be flying in.
Imagine. It looks like it's 140 players though.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It depends how many players are in the games as well.
Imagine 30-40 kill games.
I'd just like to say, by the way, Jurd is straight lying in the chat. Jurd wrote in the chat, "Oh, look who's at it again. My invite must have once again got lost in the post." I remember that one too, Mark. You fucking pagan. That's what he said, right? And I swear to God, I must have begged this guy for like 2 days straight, yeah. Well, maybe not 2 days straight, maybe just today, but I must have asked this guy about 100 times to come on, and he straight aired me, and then like 5 minutes before we were about to come on, he went, "Oh nah mate, sorry, not today." So he can go suck himself, Jurd. I know you're still watching.
He's on hot mic as well, Max. We just disrespect him.
Well, there is. Obviously, he has his favourites, and obviously he prefers Momo and whoever else goes on hot mic.
Momo, who always predicts NA teams to win. I keep getting on his back about
he predicts whoever plays us as well.
Oh,
every time.
Do you reckon he hates you, Reese?
No, he just, I don't know. I don't know what's up with the guy. Joe's tweet, if Momo's prediction was our actual result, we'll probably be like 3-30 in the last 3 events or something.
He's got no faith, mate. He's got no faith.
I know, mate. And mate, to be fair, I can't really talk, man. I predicted Splice to win against you, man.
You had to, though, Mark. You're the analyst, bro. I understand your privilege.
I've not analysed anything, mate.
Well,
I was just specking one scrim the other night against Optic.
Don't worry, boys. I predicted you to win all your games.
Yeah.
And
so did
I need to piss every 1 sec. I'm gonna piss myself.
No worries, Matt. Alright, Brad. Just I'm not sure if you realised, by the way. I'm not sure if anyone's told you. So when you were talking last, Matty was pure mocking it on webcam. He was completely mocking it. It's 100%. I wish you were on webcam to mock him back when he was speaking, man.
Little fat bastard. That's all I'm doing. Little fat mess.
So, have you got your schedule yet, Brad, for your games?
It's on the website. Like.
Yeah, Optic Rise, and then I think Complexity, and then Tainted Minds.
Goes Rise, Optic, and then you've got Complexity, Tainted Minds, and then your second week goes United, Luminosity, and your last game's against Mind Freak.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, see, that Complexity game's a biggie.
That game is an absolute big fish, that game.
Yeah.
Because, say hypothetically, you're 0-2 after Optic Rise, that you just have to win that game. Yeah. But if you do win that game, then you're fine. Because you'll probably beat Tainted Minds, and then you'll be on a 2-win streak going into LG.
What you done about my brother?
Yeah, we're talking about your brother, mate. What you got to say about your brother?
Marky grassed on you.
I grassed on you.
Oh, 7 the fucking burger.
What?
I hope he gets that 4th spot and we play him first round at playoff.
What would you do to him, Matt, if you were playing against him?
Oh my god, he already knows it. It'd be the quickest 3-0 he's ever seen in his life.
Mark, he'll shit himself.
You reckon?
The only person who wants to shit himself is Reese.
Nice
Oh, wow, that's some free gas for Reese right there.
Try. You know fine well what had happened. I don't need to say anything else.
You won't last 5 minutes.
Mate, it's guaranteed happening. It's guaranteed, like, next event. These are somehow playing against each other in the bracket somewhere, man.
Main stage. I'll be on your side of the stage.
Nah, we don't want no main stage.
We
want on a side station, man.
The quickest 3-0 ever.
With like no fan, like hardly fans will be there, yeah. And in fact, all the fans will be there. What am I talking about? All the fans will be waiting to watch the Skrapz versus Wuskinz match.
Hey.
Oh, the shit talk will be sense.
Oh, it'll be unreal.
Mid-map bastard gets spit on.
Mid-map, mate. Mid-map, I'll just put my pad down and get up and go that to him and laugh at him.
Sean's predicting
cheeseburger.
Oh.
Sean's picking a hot trio.
Your bottom three main out in this game, brother.
Impressive.
No, I'll give you
Listen,
bottom
I
five.
seen you in fucking Steve Vortex's back pocket.
Nice fucking try. Nice try.
That's tough. What's it been like living? What's it been like being apart? Obviously now Matty's in Colombo. You're home in Manny.
It just feels good, Mark.
Is it good vibes? Yeah.
He just takes a lot of stress off my shoulders. Like, when I'm with him here, right, I feel like I've got to order his food, got to do stuff for him. He doesn't know how to lock the door. What? Just feels good to be. That stress isn't there with me.
Oh, this is funny, Mark. I'm gonna be away for my 21st birthday.
Wow.
That's dinner.
What you're gonna be in Colombo?
Gonna be
21st.
Let that sink in.
That is
Surely I'm catching a dub.
You're gonna be hitting World of Beer for your 21st birthday. That's the only place to go there, isn't it? I swear that's the only bar in the whole of Columbus. From what I've heard.
Half my team ain't even 21, so that won't be happening, Mark.
Oh, that's true. No, you'll be focusing on the W's, won't you?
Yeah, Sean's like 18 and he's a baby.
Sean,
Yeah.
he's in the chat.
Speaking of
I know,
Sean,
that's what I said,
yeah, he was chatting about waffle in the chat.
Yeah, do you notice Waffle? Because I don't even know our land record.
What do you reckon it was, if you could estimate it?
I don't know.
John's gonna start going. I'm in the chat in a minute. Watch.
If I would have to guess, I'd say he's beat me like once, and that was when I was on Elevate, and I still managed to beat him once, so... It is what it is, Sean.
We done this last week, right? So I'm gonna do it sort of. I'm running out of things really to talk about. To be honest, we've been absolutely firing through the topics. So I'm gonna ask you, Brad, and obviously everyone else, but mostly Brad. What's your predictions for your group? Obviously taking yourself out of the picture, or if you want to include yourself in your predictions, what's your predictions for your group? And like, who do you see making playoffs? Who do you see, obviously in the bottom four, whatnot?
Let's put myself in the top four, and then the other three is obviously going to be Optic, LG, and Rise. That's who it's obviously going to be. But then I don't want to say I don't know. I don't like naming the bottom four, Mark, because then it sound bad. Then it sounds like I'm talking.
Well, I mean, you've named 4 teams, and then obviously you don't have to name the other 4, but I mean, they can probably work out the other 4. I'll work them out for you, mate.
I think United might be a close game with LG, like.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I don't know how much stock I put in LG.
I don't know. They have. I know it's just scrims, and you can't really look into it much. Like scrims are the best time to be losing because they actually mean fuck all. So.
They mean fuck all if what you're doing in scrims is different to what you're doing in actual games.
Like you're actually learning what you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if that's what they're doing or they're just getting fucking pumped and. So I don't.
And it could be like a fundamental. Depends if it's like a fundamental issue or if it's like an issue that like can be fixed.
So yeah.
Scrims is totally different. Remember you scrim them? Like one of the worst things played.
Well, you are Unreal in scrims, what? So yeah.
Nice try.
Different story.
Nice try, mate.
Don't talk about that.
I've already told you, if you come top 4 in your group, I'll give you 10 grand. You ain't coming top 4. Let me throw that out there.
That's a lot of money to be thrown around for a top 4.
You ain't going top 4.
So basically, you're gonna give them 10 grand if they basically beat United in complexity.
Yeah, I'm Mind Freak.
Oh yeah, my boys.
Mind Freak will be a good game versus.
Oh yeah, no, Mind Freak can take a seat. Like I don't really.
Boys.
I don't feel like they're gonna qualify for playoffs again. Well, I mean, they
again, like I said,
or even get close. But
if this team plays LD online, they'll come top 3 in the group. I put mark my words. Rachel agree with you on that. They'll come top 3 in their group.
I think they will anyway.
Oh yeah,
no. Event, which shouldn't be any different, so they should anyway.
Brad, why hasn't there been an announcement yet? Do you know?
Because Kurt's manager.
At this point, I've just give up. That's how bad it is. I've just give up, man.
You know what Kurt's like, man. Fucking wakes up about 10 o'clock at night. Works overnight, he does.
Nah, he does operate on like Australian sleep schedule or something like that. Like
he'll announce it when they're on the flight to
there's no reason to not announce it as far as I know, so I don't know why it's not been announced.
Everybody knows.
I know.
The person who you're going to be playing with is going to be sitting on main stage with like a blanket over his head, not going to be able to show him, man. Not going to be able to show him off, man. It's just going to have to be like player 1. Unilad player 1.
Only that one.
Imagine that, man.
What was his PSN in scrimmage brother when he was on stream? XL Shawnee
XL
won.
Shawnee won. Yeah.
That was doing my nutting as well, because I was sitting there calling out Shawnee twice. Yeah, obviously when B Sport was getting announced, I was trying to like hide that as well.
You give in.
Yeah,
You give in. The one of the call outs you emphasised bad.
yeah, no, I was like B Sport.
Josh.
B Sport Josh is flanking right now, and I was like, oh shit, no, Watson, B Sport Watson. No, that was a good idea for me originally. At first, when I said play on a second account, and then I completely forgot about callouts.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that was even like a thing when I was, and then I even made B Sport an account, but he didn't end up using it. So I sat there for 30 minutes before we're scrimming, sitting trying to figure out how to make a PSN account.
All right. By the way, because I seen Brycey was wanting to mention it actually in the chat, and I think it's worth talking about. Is Jed's the best 1v4 you've seen this year? Because I think it is.
How many other 1v4s have we
I
seen?
think it's 2 or 3.
That's a poor question.
We spoke about like that 1v4 was unreal and taking no credit away from him whatsoever. Nobody else would have done it how he done it, but the way they gifted it him was impressive.
Apathy, fucking.
The game was top P2. Yeah.
No, Aches was top P2. Challenged him because he was one off streaks. Died. Apathy come from you. Challenged him like it was still the best 1v4, but it was just
like,
a shit show.
Like,
Yeah.
He
That was
showed
trying to tell me-
No, and actually no, that's not even the best 1v4.
What, you think
Absolutely.
Arcides?
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
but
Round 11,
they
mate.
just fucking
Round 11.
ran at him.
Round 11.
Game 5, round 11.
Round 11, game 5.
For the
What,
reverse
he was
sweep as
against
well.
Fucking, it wasn't against like anybody who's
I
good as
don't know.
AJ. Like.
Oh, it was against GJ Blue.
Was it?
Yeah, no, it was against GJ Blue. It was against Johnny Tsunami and whatnot.
The Judge Jiggle peaks were fire.
That
the
was
way,
so good.
The way his shots are just so crisp there, the way he was shoulder beating him, just played it so perfect, but they did gift it him. Can't take any credit away from him though.
Yeah, that's like a pure Jurd play as well. Like the way, do you know the way he moved? Like no one else really.
He just like jiggled.
Yeah, he
tap,
just-
tap.
he just-
It
he
was
just-
like
Jiggle
H1.
peak.
It was literally like H1.
He's got the jiggle peak
Like,
on lock.
proper
Jurd does.
ding,
He does.
Yeah,
ding. It was fire.
but yeah, like, pretty much the majority of 1v4 clutches, like you're rarely going to see a
Someone's
1v4
getting
clutch.
world
And
sad.
yeah,
Someone's getting world sad.
yeah, you're never going to see a 1v4 clutch where it's like, oh yeah, that
Go
guy
on,
and
go on,
the
go on.
last guy alive just played it perfectly. Like that's just not possible. Like two of the players probably made a misplay in that situation. Like there was probably more misplays than just two in that whole
it's like-
1v4.
It was only Assault that didn't do anything wrong because he was like, well,
Nah, the guy on bomb couldn't really do much. Like
It's always just that guy's fault.
challenging top was a bad play. Then Apathy just standing out in the open U was a bad play. And
Yeah.
then the guy on bomb couldn't really move.
I think it's one of the things where they know where he is. You're in a 1v4, the bomb's down, you just got completely complacent.
No,
And
you
it's
can't
like,
be doing
holy
that.
shit,
He's-
now a
can't be
1v1,
doing
he's got
that
a guy
at this
bomb.
level.
No.
King Jade will just take you off the head glitch.
And
There
not
it
only
is.
that, like most of the time in like a situation like that 1v4, as soon as Jurd gets that first kill, them three should then be on like alert, like
Shit
yo.
themselves. Yeah, that's what I mean. Jade
They
got
should
on
be
the
like-
kill, and then Apathy stood out in the open U.
Yeah, there should have been like a readjustment of where everyone was like the way everyone was going to play the situation. Like there was time to like communicate with each other to like either all just push the guy, like push Jurd, or like
Fucking
just
run.
run away and like set up correctly to bait him out and waste down time and eventually get the kill. But then again, like they ended up, there were so many situations. Did someone not 1v3 Splice as well? The other day in Echo Fox, did someone not 1v3 Splice?
Assault on it.
Yeah, it was sort of.
Was it Assault?
Assault.
Or was it EG then?
No.
No,
Yeah.
it was Aqua on it.
Aqua, yeah, Aqua. Somebody definitely got 1v3 against Splice.
Yeah, it was Aqua.
But
But Joe got another 1v3 in that game.
yeah, in that same game, yeah.
For it, yeah.
Yeah, that was because the guy fucking P1 wasn't watching the P4 alley.
Yeah.
That's just amateur hour.
No, that was another play. Jurd just rushed it and hit. Well, I mean, there's no really play. Yeah, I guess so.
Dude, that's one play and it worked both times.
Yeah, you have to risk it.
You're fucking loving life at that moment.
Literally, if you
up here, aren't we?
if you hold down that alleyway, you're cushy. Like the majority of the time.
I've got a question for everyone here. You done with that topic, Matt?
Yeah, I'm done, mate. Yeah.
Go on, this is about me, I know it is.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Who's been... This isn't about you watching the ball. This is just a random question. Who's been the biggest fall-off from last year? Europe.
From Europe. Player.
Hmm? Yeah, bro.
Bans.
Bans.
Mark.
Nah. Answers
Who would
made
you
2
say?
grand finals.
Um,
Did he make it because of bans, though?
yeah, go for 2v4 as well,
Did you
Judge.
make
Yeah.
it without bans?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
someone Dilma playing at the start of the year.
I'm not sure who I'd say.
Ben's unreal. I know why he's been playing bad, but compared to last year, Ben will even tell you himself he's in a slump at the minute.
I could definitely say upgrades. I really
It's that
could.
one good event.
I could say upgrades quite easily, like quite confidently. I could name players that are definitely like better in Europe on this game. But I really don't know who's like got mass. I don't really think anyone's got like massively worse. I mean, you're gonna have to say
Dave Marsh.
no. Well, I mean, I don't know. I've
Dave
my.
Marsh was the fucking best player on
He was
the
a-
last
Yeah,
game.
true.
True.
He
He was
That's
such a
what I was gonna say, Reece.
Yeah,
Is he
true.
even playing at the minute?
No,
He's
he's
got
not.
Unilad.
But but honestly, with Dave Marsh, yeah, he's like not really gonna what he done in IW. He's never really gonna be able to emulate that sort of play style or like go off as well as that on World War II. It's just like it's completely different games. You know what I mean? He was just an absolute maniac, but like he was controlled like the way he done it in the last game. But I'd say personally the biggest downgrade of like you have to say it's them. It must be like the Epsilon players.
I was just about to
Yeah.
say, like,
Like
Yeah.
it's like it's
I don't think the situation with Nathan has helped, but I mean they weren't looking great then anyway. But it's just
That's a shout
think-
of all the Epsi players.
yeah,
Like-
dropping Josh was a
I'd
bad
say Dave.
idea.
I'd say Dave was. I don't know.
Dave's
Dave
looked
was
a
unreal
little
last year.
bit. Yeah,
Dave,
he's
Dave,
looked a little bit
Dave,
better.
Dave was the
anyone-
best player in
if
Europe.
anyone out of
last
that
year.
Epsi team,
Yeah,
bro,
that's what I'm saying. Dave's the only
Steve-
player in that team
Steve-O.
who you could say he's fell off. I wouldn't say Steve on Billy were unreal last year. Like them
No,
fell
yeah.
off. They just average
Better.
what they was last year. Yeah, they
They,
was better last
they
year.
were average last year, and now they're
Yeah.
not very good.
Dave was the one that was fucking
Dave
unreal
was
last
literally
year.
the best player in Europe at the end of that game.
yeah, and there was stages where like obviously they were getting to like winners bracket finals events and looking like unreal. So, and now obviously they've not got past like top.
Winning a map.
I mean, I think they've got top
Top
20.
16, is it?
Yeah.
Or top 20.
I think they've got top 20 highest. I could be wrong. Top 20 highest, I believe. Obviously, they're in the CWL, so like they're.
Yeah.
It's,
Some things have not went their way this year.
yeah, no, but I mean they're still
The
there
whole
though.
Nathan thing is not helped, but they're still in the Pro League. But I just think, I think it would have been if they were in your group, Brad. I think it would have been interesting to see them go up against Titanium Mines and whatnot. But I think in this
Wait,
group,
what?
it's
You mean Unilad's group?
yeah,
Yeah.
Brad's group.
I thought you said red.
No, not Brad.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's all right. That's fine. That's fine.
I'm on a different planet.
Well, you are. You're in Columbus,
They
mate.
lose to Mines.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they lost. Yeah, they lost to Tate Mines at the last event. Yeah.
They lost to them in the relegation tournament.
No, it was in relegation.
Yeah, they had.
Yeah.
Tate Mines were such a weird team that event because obviously they came to relegation. They beat
And they didn't
team.
win a map or something. stupid like
Yeah, then they came into the event, and I'm pretty sure they got bullied every pool game, and then got knocked out by Brad's team in the loser bracket.
I think
Yeah.
like as long like they were just after relegation, they did not give a fuck.
that.
Like I know that was our like when I joined Red last year after putting him in relegation, we got through relegation and we didn't care about Anaheim.
Same,
It was a
we
plus.
did. Yep.
We got like top 8 or something at Anaheim, but like it was just a whatever we do here is a bonus kind of thing.
Yeah,
So I don't know if that's actually what was their case, but
yeah, could be.
they probably qualified for the league and just went and got fucking smashed.
Yeah, they were loving it, weren't they?
Yeah.
I seen because I think we maybe just lost right at the same time they qualified or whatever. I think, but I seen the reaction somewhere anyway, like a video or something. They were all like crying and whatnot. So they must have been like super gassed.
Yeah.
Extra gassed. I can't imagine like because obviously an Australian second team is like never expect to qualify from the league. And now I've wrote in the chat, by the way, just letting everyone know. Wrote in the chat, asking, taking some questions for the chat, just because usually people have some quite good ideas in the chat. First of all, Randoms asked. I know you've already kind of covered this like multiple times anyway, but you may as well say it again because he's asking. Skrapz, how close were you to joining Splice?
I mean, I was in a call with Ben, Dylan, literally waiting for the papers off Kurt. That's no close to us signing.
I can't hear you, by the way. You cut out
Yeah,
there.
it keeps getting up.
At first,
Oh my god, fatty.
Was you hear me, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At first, obviously, it was joining red, and the figure went from being, but that's fine, everyone was happy with it. The stupid, which was out the roof. Obviously, red didn't want to pay that. Splice wasn't bothered about paying it. Obviously, giving Tom as a trade. But then Patrick come back to me as I was in a call with Swizz and that. They're about to get everything done, and Patrick said, "Give me half an hour and I'll get it sorted." So Mark, ignore him. He come to me, said, "Who should he join?" I said, "Red." If you want me, you've been Splice.
Well, no, I mean, I think if you were
Why are
to,
you gassing it? Stop gassing it, you idiot.
well, I mean, obviously,
You're
if
serious, stop again. You're just gassing it.
you would but like real talk though, if you did do that, that wouldn't be like. I really don't think that's like a bad thing to do anyway. Like, just
Yeah, it's not.
I think
there would have been nothing wrong with it. I think.
like if it was like the same, like regardless, I think you made like the right decision. Quite clearly.
Because obviously there's still nothing to me, just nothing to do with me. But I think there's still problems in that team. And with me joining red, like every player that's in here already does what they do, probably the best at it. And I was just filling in Josh's role, which was the main sub, which is what I do. And I'm one of the best at it. So
Yeah.
there's no going into this team and worried about I've got to change to this, Trey's got to change to that, Reese has got to do this. It was just everything was still the same. I was just taking Josh's spot. The team was going to get better, so it was an easy decision, to be honest.
Fair enough. That makes sense. Wait to see. Let's see what other questions you got here.
Takion's question's quite good. Biggest fall off in general outside of Europe.
Formal, 100%.
Yeah, someone said formal.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I'd agree.
I don't even think Formal's bad. I just think, I mean,
He's pretty bad, but like last game he was literally 1v4 and people.
yeah,
Literally the best player ever on a COD game, Formal on IW.
Yep. Just fucking going into Sunday at Champs, he was on a 1.7, wasn't
yeah,
Something
like a 1.7, 1.8 before. It wasn't even going to Sunday. I think it was like before the finals.
he? Oh my god, man.
Like on
That's
IW,
impressive.
he was literally a freak.
Like literally, people win maps here. He won series by himself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
Stupid.
how,
I'd say.
like,
I'd say
fucking-
Formal.
So we're saying he's a jetpack away.
No, it was nasty on goals, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
I
not
suppose,
good. I still
yeah.
knocked him out of VSWC, but it's all good.
I don't think he's. I feel like boots on the ground, hard point, and like S&D and all
It's
that
completely different.
changes like a lot. Like when he was like obviously playing before on Ghosts, he was always renowned not to be great on S&D. And then obviously the other two game modes are game modes that we don't even play anymore, which was Domination and Blitz, like which are pretty much like what he's good at, just pre-aiming and killing things that are in front of you. That's the way that game almost worked. Like towards the end, especially like with the Vector, it was just everyone walking around and pre-aiming and who won the gunfights. And obviously, if you're Formal, he's that suits his game
Absolute
to the
pharmacy.
absolute. What did you say? Absolute.
Pharmacy.
Did you see my tweet last night?
Oh mate.
Yeah, I mean,
tell when you
Ninja's
watch
chemist,
him.
bro.
Oh yeah.
Fucking hell, bro. He's got
I
some
know-
military grade shit.
You know what? It's even when you watch him just like looting, and
Mate,
you're like
he doesn't blink.
how fast he's picking things up. It's
doesn't
just like
fucking blink.
and he's like fully looked at. Ah, it's stupid.
Mate, he's a fucking freak. I need his chemist before champs. I'll pay good money. Someone find it.
do you reckon the pro point system should be in next year, or I'll rephrase that? Do you think like the system in general should be the same from like this year to next year? Do you think they should change some things? And if so, what do you think they should change?
I mean, there's obviously been some discontent, especially at the
I
beginning
think-
of the game when it comes to qualifying for it all and everything. I suppose it sets you up for the rest of the year.
I don't think it should be a thing. I think it should be just be 2Ks, 5Ks, obviously tournaments and qualifiers and whatnot. I don't think that should be a thing, but
I mean, obviously in an ideal world, it would all be based off land, but that takes money, doesn't it? And it's
I mean, I don't really mind there being pro point. That's the way I see it. I think that pro points should be used to like seed. Like there should be like 2Ks and all that at the start of the year that seed the first tournament, and then like after that tournament, because obviously they need something to base the first seeds off of. So like just playing for the seed online, I feel like it's perfectly fine. But I feel like there should be, obviously once you get to that stage, it should be like a clean slate almost, and there should be like an EU event, an NA event, and like an ANZ event to just get all the teams, like the best teams from each region, because that's I don't really feel like that's the way it worked out at the start of the year. I feel like it's the way it is now. I feel like it's accurate, like, to the best teams in Europe that are in the league. But I feel like at the start of the year there was probably some better teams than that Epsilon team at that point. Like, no doubts about it.
Yeah, like
I'm not even saying my team. I'm talking like even like the other like amateur level teams. I feel like there was a couple of teams that were better than that Epsilon team. Just I feel like if the tables were flipped and they were in open bracket, I feel like they would have had some of the similar struggles that some of those teams came up against, like XL, like Zed and Alex's team. Like I played them in open bracket like for like top 64 or something at one event in NOLA. Like it's an absolute gauntlet that open bracket, especially best of fees. And if you're not strong on like one game mode, it can just be an absolute madness, really.
So like do 2Ks and 5Ks, whatever, for seeding.
Yeah, I feel like the way the year should start off should be, obviously, I don't think there should be even 2Ks and 5Ks like the first week of the game, which there was, or like it was like the second week. Yeah, should have a month. Yeah, get everyone grinding, get everyone to understand the game first and foremost, and then you have the 2Ks, and then you have like then the events come in, and then after like 2 events, then the CW, like they usually do it, the CWL qualification comes in. But I feel like just this year it was like from
got a 2K on the first week, did you?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's like a week after release.
And you had 2K, and not only that, it was so like everyone was scrimming from day one with like the FG42 being like major OP and shit like that, and then like when the 2K came around like the following Sunday, like I think they dropped like a major nerf on the FG, so it was like still good, but it was like nowhere like near as OP as it was like at the time when it first like when the game first came out. And then obviously you just had like the whole online factors of the first couple of 2Ks, and then you had Vitality then qualifying for the league pretty much like off. Yeah, I mean they done really well in the first couple of 2Ks. They were obviously like a decent team at the start of the game. I think I really couldn't say that Vitality weren't. I feel like they were definitely like a top 5 team at the start of the game, in Europe anyway. But obviously they were fully taking advantage of the team house situation, and then obviously just doing well in the first couple online tournaments set them up, because then they were in open bracket, avoiding open bracket, going through pool play, just guaranteed that top 24, which like most teams weren't. I think our team were the only team that got top 24 out of the open bracket in EU the first 2 events. So
yeah, I think it would be best to sort of set up the on one LAN event, but yeah, we'll see. It's just a case of Activision moving things out. I mean, I would like to see more events in Europe.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people think it's just a case of like us at EGL, like just hosting an event like that, but it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, there's a lot more factors that come into it. Like
so much into it. Because like I mean, hell, like we could go on to run an event, but we're gonna run at a loss, and it's a business at the end of the day. So I mean, it's mostly been focused over in North America because they've got all the big events over there. Unfortunately for the European scene this year. But yeah, I think if we base everything off an event at the beginning of the year, I think it'll probably be best. Like, definitely.
Yeah, I think I could sit here and rant about the format like all night. To be honest,
we could go
I can sit here and talk about it all night. So let's just move on and ask the question that keeps getting asked in the chat by about 10 different people.
Yeah.
Who would you guys have picked up if you didn't pick up Matt?
We would have probably stuck with Josh.
Even though he would have known that you obviously wanted him out, you would have just gotten back in.
Yep.
Not picked Tom up.
He wanted to stick the news.
I think that was Josh's goal out of the whole of the thing. He wanted to stay in the team. He knew we were the best team in Europe. He knew we were going to be the best team in Europe regardless of the situation. So if we didn't get him out, we'd have probably stuck with Josh.
Yeah, fair enough.
But
that would have been rough though, wouldn't it?
I mean,
not from Josh's perspective, obviously. As in,
I don't know. Everyone says that, but at events it's just completely different.
Yeah.
That's why, like, some people have the excuse they're playing bad because they're team vibes. I don't think that is the case at events. Well, I don't know, for me anyway. I don't know, people might be different, but at events everyone's just there to fucking win. Nobody gives a fuck about any outside factors. So it would have been rough online scrimming, but
It depends on the individual. Like realistically, there are some players like yourself. Obviously, you've been around for a while. You know that like when it comes down to it, when it's like game time, you're gonna like come in 100%. But there's some players genuinely that like if they're not like happy or whatever, they'll bring in that sort of like negative like mentality and like just be moody in game and whatnot. And like there's a lot of players like that. But like,
you know, a very good player who's like that.
Trust me, I've teamed with a lot. Well, this game I've teamed with a lot of different people, a lot of different, like completely different people, and just in terms of like the way they are, a lot of people have that issue. That from my experience anyway, and obviously my experience just at the top as well. Like, there's always been players like that. So it's obviously you have a team right now. I feel like that's not an issue at all. Like with your current team,
Yeah,
so you're all pretty good vibes.
I want us to lose a game.
Yeah,
As
but
weird as that sounds.
yeah, I mean, I
I want
don't.
us to lose a game to see how we react. But let's do that in like the second set of games when we're already made playoffs.
I feel like.
Obviously, if we go 14-0, like.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like.
Obviously, what we actually want to do.
Yeah, no, obviously. Yeah, obviously your
wouldn't
goal
mind,
was never to lose, but I feel like your team will handle it regardless. Like,
No, yeah. But we're all good friends, and
you know how good you are anyway.
there's no really clashes. Yeah, we know. Yeah.
Even if you lose, you're going to know like, oh, we're not shit. Like, it's just because we
We
made
lost
like.
because of this, and
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
So,
We're in a good spot.
let's see if there's any more interesting questions in the chat. Will Ben Bance reach his Black Ops 3 IW form?
That's good.
In this game, or yeah, if the question's in this game, then no. If it's in the next game, then probably.
That's good when he roams free. That guy will come back to being unbelievable again. But for now,
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by roams free?
rates what he wants.
Does what he wants in game.
Yep.
Alright, fair enough. So
That's when I get back here.
are you feeling like he's being controlled currently? No, I'm gassing. I'm just gassing. I'm just trying.
No, I don't know. Answer the question, Brad.
He's just not happy, is he?
Yep. That's
So,
what's up with Ben. That's
and
why
he's one of them people who, like you said, wants to be happy on a team.
When
Yeah.
Ben's on people he likes, like for example Joe or something, or when he was recent, the kid's fucking absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
Once he's had like you say about that attitude about when you feel like people pushing you down, that's when Ben fucking, I don't know.
He's a baby as well.
Yep.
And when we used to team with on Black Ops 3, we all, like, as much as it was a joke when we were saying it, it was actually true. We were just like, Ben, you just fucking shoot your gun.
Yep.
And don't worry about anything else. Don't call out, just fucking shoot your gun.
He's good at.
Like, as much as that was a joke, like, at the time, that's all you need Ben to do. And he'll be the best player in Europe again.
I mean, what do you think it was different at Birmingham then? Because I mean,
It wasn't the I amers.
it was just the IMS, was it?
I am a
The
fire.
the IM fryer, yeah.
Nah, I don't know. Fuck knows.
Ben was happy because his family was there. We use that excuse.
His girlfriend was sucking him off all weekend.
Excellent.
That's why he was crying. Nah, I don't actually know. It was just a fluke event, I guess. We'll take that. Because Tom was not going to our event. Tom told them to get a pickup.
Yeah, I heard that.
Really?
Tom told them, get a pickup, I'm not turning up. And then
they
they got
finished second.
second. Because they were
Callum,
going to pick
shut
Matt
the
up.
fuck up, you
They-
retard.
They were gonna pick they were gonna pick Matt up before Birmingham. Well, not before Birmingham, but after Birmingham. Do you know, like when playoffs was going on, they didn't qualify. That's when
Yeah.
they were gonna get Matt, and then they got second at Birmingham and didn't make a change. It's like the FaZe situation. I think FaZe should have still changed, even though they won playoffs. Splice definitely should have changed, even though they got second.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they didn't get Matt, and then they fucked up because now we have Matt, and then.
Yeah, not only that, like, this is something that I remember, like, even, like, Mr. X talking about, like, years ago, and, like, when Drow went back on, like, Ghosts, when, obviously, that old Complexity team was about, and they were still, I think they won, like, two events in a row.
Clayster.
They dropped Clayster even after winning the events, because if you're at the top, that's when you're going to be able to make the most moves, so if they start dropping off, like, obviously, which is, obviously, after getting second, which is what happened, they're then not able to make the moves that they want, because realistically at that point they could have could have easily got Matt, obviously, at that point. So
Ben said it to me after he got home from it. It's just another blast from the wound, and he hit me with a fucking Matt. I didn't want it to change. Like, not down to Matt. It's not down to the owners. It's down to the players. Like, if you want to make a change and you think it should happen, then make it happen.
He probably got caught up in the whole romance of Birmingham, didn't he? with the
They
crowd and
stuck,
everything
so,
like that.
yeah,
It's just
they still so I knew fine well like where we're gonna start to sell. So wasn't too fussed.
Yeah.
Went into that event and obviously give everything to my fucking brothers on the team, so I would never go into the event playing shit and whatnot. I went into it and give it my all. After I knew what was gonna happen. Very interesting.
Yeah, there's quite a few questions.
You waste, man.
There's a lot of questions in the chat, but pretty much the majority of them are a lot of nonsense, to be honest with you. But I'll just ask this final one just to end off tonight's show. Who are the worst EU players to team with? This is just a funny one, obviously. This is just a funny one, obviously.
Don't
Like,
Why does everyone keep saying me?
I'll rattle off some of my experiences first. You can have a little think.
I know he does it, Mark. Does he
I've not even seen it. I know what you're gonna say.
Right.
Okay.
I know Mark's answer.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know it. I don't think I could play with him.
And I know who you are thinking, yeah. But
I know what I'm thinking.
I mean, to be honest, there's quite a few people this year that I can think. Nah, but real talk, obviously.
Don't be a bitch. Come on.
Well, I mean, they're all thinking that I'm going to say Petey.
Nah,
That's who you thinking?
I'm not.
Who you thinking I'm going to say?
You're gonna say Whalers?
I mean, I don't know. I can kind of put the Whalers as okay. Okay. Before I go into Petey, yeah. The situation with like obviously Whalers, I feel like that was a lot down to like the miscommunication situation. Yeah, like I feel like him coming in. I mean, I couldn't go in there and common French, like not a chance. So I feel like him coming in and speaking not his first language, even though obviously he's played with UK players before, it's not that comfortable with it. For me and like Moose especially, it was like extremely uncomfortable for us team with two French players because like I don't know. Honestly, I've never felt this way at an event. But do you know what I mean? I was just sitting there, yeah. Just playing the map, just not having any clue what's going on in the map, like who's watching where. I had no idea what was going on, so it was just like the worst experience ever. But then obviously I teamed with Petey for years and we done a lot of good stuff together, so I really can't like fault him, to be honest with you. But obviously towards the end of that frustration started getting a bit more and more with like just the little things with Petey. Like he was like obviously an incredible player, but my issues really were his communication was sometimes just like non-existent, and then just little things like not holding kill cams and all these like basic things you need to do on like boots on the ground games that you didn't really have to do on these jetpack games, and that sort of frustration led to me just going mad. But that's enough of me. Who's the questions? The question is for everyone here. So, who are the worst EU players to team with?
Well, I've teamed with. Never had a problem with Moose. Never had a problem with Gerd. Which really was going through a lot of shit on Block 3. I've never had a problem with Jordan. My brother, the same brother, my fucking brother. Sean, never had a problem with Sean. And Sean only likes a certain few people. Getting along with Sean is very impressive.
Your sound.
Never had a problem with Sean. And Alex, I played with him on one event, never had a problem with Alex. So. And Tom.
Yeah, Alex is a good lad. He's like very easy to get on with, I feel like.
Yeah, Tom, which like people have their opinions about Tom and whatnot. And he did. I think in our team he did try to be not controlling, but he always wanted it his way. Like
I think it's different in that team though. When you were teaming, obviously it was like you three and him, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course. But is that like if you let it be that way, then he's just gonna go downhill. Because for example, that was my brother's first game. And if, for example, my brother was doing stuff wrong, and it was like straight away dig up my brother. The only thing that's gonna do is make him just down and just bad vibes. So, like he eventually didn't.
Yeah.
None of that. It was just he helped us. If anything, he made me better. He made Bradley better. So people have their opinions on Tom. But me, I've not. All my teammates have not had a problem with.
Come on, the race, you're ready to burst out and say it.
No, I'm not. My answer's shit.
Ah,
I mean, going back before restocks, going back on like Tom. Obviously, there's been a lot of like players that like I'd say I'm sort of similar as well. Like where I try and like control a lot of what my team are doing and whatnot. I don't know if it's really to the same like degree, but I definitely sort of feel like I can kind of see where Tom's coming from at times when he's like the way he's acting that way. If he's like,
yeah, but then, like it was like
it's hard for like it's hard sometimes when like you're so focused on like making it's like I'm sort of similar to him in that way. Like it's sometimes really hard when you're sort of so focused on making sure everything's going right in the game, and what in your head you think you know what's right the majority of the time, but that's something that I've had to come to accept recently. Like you can't be right all the time. So I mean you have to think that way.
Like that's the only thing that annoyed me was like you'd hit him with something like don't do this or whatever. Like you did this there. You'd have an answer for it. The answer would be shit and it'd be stupid. Like then you'd be like fucking hell. There is no point in that. It'd always give you one, which was annoying. But like you just said, people are like that. So.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to like teaming with like any sort of player. At the end of the day, like, and it's some of those like negatives are going to be way more annoying than someone that doesn't maybe communicate as much as another player. But realistically, everything's affecting the game. But Reese, go on. Who's your least favourite player? Watson.
Which is just a boring answer because he's shit, so it doesn't really matter.
All right.
It would have been a better answer if it was someone like actually still like.
No, but I feel it means like teammate. Like I'm talking like not even like individual player wise, because if I'm talking
not that. No, he was just a nuisance. Like he'd just not be there for scrims. I'll be 5 minutes. You'll see him in 2 hours. He's left his suitcase on the train. Then apparently he's chased the train to get his suitcase somehow.
Yeah, no, I've heard him come out with. I think I teamed with him for like a brief period going into an event, and I heard some crazy excuses coming out of that guy's mouth.
Worst teammate, fastest man on the planet.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's like it's a shit answer.
It's a fair answer.
All the people who team with me, I don't know, they must be scared of me or something. Because they never act weird with me.
Watson's a trader now.
I think you're a good teammate, Reese. When I team with you.
Yeah, I'm good, but I'm pretty hard to play with online sometimes.
I don't know. I don't know, but obviously I've not teamed with you in years now. But
yeah, I just get bored online.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel like that's what everyone's like.
Who doesn't get bored online? So,
yeah.
Yeah, I think Watson would probably be my choice, just because he's just a moron.
Tell you what about you?
He just wastes everybody's time.
When we teamed with Galvs, I don't know if anybody will remember him. Oh my god. Anyway,
he was a legend. I remember he used to show us videos of.
Come on, he was so hard to work with, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, he was the most cocky guy I've ever teamed with, hands down. Yeah, he would even show us videos of him like bench pressing and all that shit. Like he thought he was the man. This guy did, man. Back in the day.
He's out living it up in Thailand now, mate.
Yeah.
Got himself a little Thai girlfriend.
Yeah, but it might not even be a girlfriend, maybe a boyfriend. Maybe a lady boy.
I seen him at EGL, man. I thought he was a fucking model.
Mate,
like a
honestly,
fake tan and all that.
He's a good lad.
Before that event, he was tweeting me for a month straight saying he was gonna fry me because he was in our group. Literally tweeting me for a month straight saying he was gonna beat my team.
The thing
I
is,
remember, they went up like 100-10 on the first map. And I think they finished on 110 points.
The thing is, it was actually like at the time. Obviously, we're talking like when was the last time I competed? Fuck.
Mod 3.
Mod 3 Black Ops. I went to one event of Black Ops 2, so Mod 3. And he was all right, to be fair, but Christ, he was a nutcase, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Absolutely lunatic.
Yeah, those are going back a few years now, man. That's crazy. I've been sitting here competing. What years now? 2018. This is probably like 2013, 2014, something like that. Probably, maybe even earlier than that. 2012.
My first line was Black Ops 1. I think you started.
We've been grinding for years, Matt.
Mine was MW3, EGL 5.
My first event, Black Ops 3 EGL.
I still remember your first game, man. Frying on the main stage.
Because I casted it. I remember.
There you go.
Gassed you up, didn't I?
Stealth chopper, or did you not? Or you didn't get the stealth chopper, won it?
You bottled it.
You bottled the stealth chopper. Fuck's sake.
TCM, bro. Mate, I was Will Sarin.
You were, man.
Try and find it.
Get the mods up. G-slid out of top red.
You were all star.
Please get the mods up.
Wait, G-slid out of top red, man. What?
G-slid out of top red for a fucking Wraith. Oh my god, it was peak.
You were flying through the map, you were.
Open 2016, that was it, wasn't it?
He was playing TCM. It was Sunny, Shane,
TCM
Bran,
against Rampage Tempo.
Sonny.
Yes.
Gassy
Oh,
bitch.
Jesus. Me and Chris
Sonny was screaming.
Chris Trout, man, what a fucking sideman.
Yeah. Fucking Brand's ass was hanging out on me. Absolute Barujo. Hey, my first round just taking it all in. They're just screaming, fucking hell, boys, chill out.
What was first map?
Nothing fucking 47s.
Fringe won it.
Fringe.
Yeah, Fringe Hardpoint. I still remember that.
Yeah.
It was a good map.
We were getting
Game.
Warsaw.
Jeez.
Oh, actually, I played Matt at that event.
Yeah, I dropped 15 for the L last map, 6-5.
It's in the sky.
Was the last map?
Yeah, we lost 6-5 on Stronghold, remember?
Yeah,
Had
yeah.
full streaks at 5-all. I said to my
Wow.
team, yeah, it was Stronghold, what was the bomb called in the middle?
Yeah.
B. It
Bomb,
was B bomb. B bomb.
B, yeah. I said to my old team, stack what's the wall run and stack top. 3 of them were up top. I called the streaking, got first blood. Dave Marsh hits the wall and gets the 2-piece. You got full top control.
Of course he did. I was there as well. I followed Dave Marsh up and I killed someone else, and then it was just we were in a free.
I was in a
It was yeah, you were in a 1v3. It was so you were sitting there at the back of the map, or whatever, using your streaks, absolutely raging, man. All your teammates have just fucked up. Your team, that was back when you were team with
Typical nerd, bro.
Typical Nerd, isn't it? Typical Nerd, man.
Wait, what happened the other month with him? Who was he tweeting about? He did this massive twit
That fucking TBK addiction.
Oh yeah. Wants his ass or something.
That was mad.
Oh, let's not even talk about that, man.
Lad, legitimately, like, not even taking the piss, clearly has issues. Like,
Moving
Like,
that was
mate.
mental.
Yeah, no, I can't believe he. I feel like I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it,
I
man.
loved him and Ryan Gray, but he was a fucking lettuce, man.
Moving fruiter.
He was my worst
Sunny
teammate.
Moving
He was by far my worst teammate. I couldn't stand him.
I think we're gonna draw the show to a close, guys, in a few moments. I'm gonna see if there's any more interesting questions, and I'm gonna pretty much draw it to a close.
Right, go on, throw it out there.
But I just want to first of all say, yeah, shout out to Celtic today, by the way. Double treble,
Oh,
double.
Christ.
We got the double treble today, boys.
10 COD Pros and win the Scottish League. Fuck me.
Aye, all right then, chief. I just, yeah, obviously, unreal day.
Why did Tom not want to go Birmingham? He didn't want to main AR. That was the only reason why.
Shut up, man. Surely not.
That was the only reason.
Yeah.
Bradley was
So
there
Tom,
as well.
Tom, Tom,
Yep,
Tom
I
literally
was
told them to get a pickup. Tom said,
didn't
I'm
want to
not,
main
I'm, not,
AR.
I'm not coming to the event.
We were sat in the apartments at the league.
Well, yeah, I just think that Tom was obviously going through the disappointment of the league, and then just having like the events back to back a lot, and just travelling and all that. I think he just wanted like an event off from what he said. Just obviously so much shit going on and whatnot.
Never seen Tom like that. Like on the Friday,
Yeah.
usually like he'd go out and have a drink and whatnot with Jared and Reedy and whatnot. He just literally locked himself in his room and stayed in bed all day.
Yeah.
Weird, like you just go through it. Then he come, they go.
I'm interested to see how his new team's going. I've not even really spoke about that actually. Don't really get to even talk about it last week. This will be our final topic. But how do you think the Vitality team's going to do? Like obviously an open bracket and obviously going into champs. Do you think they're going to be decent? Do you think they're going to be?
Meh.
Like,
It depends how you think, how you stack decent.
well, do you think they can do? Okay, like can you?
I mean, no, I know it's only online, but like.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, that doesn't really matter. Their old team
Yeah,
lost it.
this
Their
is
old team,
the
their old
Let's
team
not
lost
talk
that
about
team.
National circuit losses there, Mark. Well, not will they?
Yeah, fuck you. First of all, I'd just like to add that in there. Fuck you, Chris Tunn. But second of all, I think that old team, when it was like Brain and Zed, they also lost to Louis CM in that last season. So that they've actually lost them twice now. So I don't really think that. I don't really think that matters though. I think they're still going to be probably. I mean, my team is pretty much guaranteed not to be in the playoffs now at this point. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be favourites to win the playoffs. Like
What do you
definitely.
mean? Why, Matt? How's it work? What do you mean? You're not in playoffs?
Nah, because we lost to Vitality last night, and then we lost against Nolson's team as well.
So what's going to happen now? You got
No, but basically, yeah. No, we've not really. Normally the way it would work is we would just need to win our last 2 games. We would guarantee qualify. But because Louis CM that beat Vitality, they got an upset win. So even if we like. Pretty much, they've got. If we win our last 2 games, they just need to beat like Bobby C's team to qualify for playoffs. So like, it's kind of fuckeries for us. We're basically probably gonna have like 4 wins, but just not qualify because we've lost to because we didn't make an upset win, and obviously because we suck.
You haven't got Nog, have you?
No, we've not.
So yeah, so you won't be going Anaheim then?
Yeah.
Oh no. I mean, we've got stuff obviously that the pipeline and whatnot. I'm still sorting out in a minute.
Mark will always find himself an event.
Don't worry, Mark. Don't worry, I'll be at Anaheim.
Don't fucking
That's
worry about it.
that's literally guaranteed. Reese is gonna see me at Glasgow Airport eating a fry up at like 6 in the morning on route to LAX. And Reese already knows it.
Find you a grand down in the casino.
And no, I mean, I don't even know if there's any casinos in Los Angeles.
Mate, you were a mythical creature in New Orleans. Oh
yeah, I was. I was a beast. Let's not talk about that though. Let's avoid that.
Topic for off stream.
That's an off-topic conversation. But yeah, guys, thanks a lot for watching Talking Bollocks. This week has been the epitome of Talking Bollocks because I rocked
100%.
it. I rocked in last minute, really sorting all this out, like literally up to like 15 minutes before we were going to go live. I was pretty much watching the Celtic game all day, watching the football and all that. Not really, to be honest, not sorting out stuff.
Know what? I seen you tweet about that. And I was like, "This isn't happening tonight. There's no way."
No, it needs to happen, yeah, but it just needs to happen regardless. Like, obviously, it's not the most prepared this week, as it's probably never going to be. It's just going to be quite spontaneous the majority of the time. But thanks a lot for those who've obviously tuned in, enjoyed watching us talking bollocks, chatting shit. Obviously, in future, it's going to be a lot more organised. Try and organise guests, obviously, a couple of days in advance. And get obviously tweeting out and whatnot, let everyone know, let everyone be aware that the show's gonna be live. I'm also gonna try and work out how to get this show live faster as well on EGL's YouTube channel, so everyone can watch this live straight away after. And also we're gonna
tonight if you send the thing over.
Yeah, so we're gonna obviously try and get that done as soon as possible. I talk to Tony about that off stream because I have a way faster solution as well. But anyway, like I said, thanks a lot for watching. And tune in obviously to our new shows. Myself and Tunny got Iron Sights, which is a sort of preview show to the CWL, which is going to be every Monday before the CWL starts, and that's going to be on EGL's Twitch channel and EGL's YouTube, but obviously this is on my Twitch channel but also on EGL's YouTube channel, so make sure you tune into that. And cheers for everyone coming on. Cheers Matt, cheers Reese, obviously for coming on again. Cheers Brad, obviously you're looking good in your display picture on that, mate, so keep it up, man. And I'll see you all later. Good night and goodbye.